Well, what a way to start this weekend. Of course, the sunrise safari with a beautiful moon, but it's busy waxing at the moment, so it's getting a little bit smaller by the day, by the evening, at this beautiful reserve of ours, where we're pretty much sitting a nice cloudy, well, kind of partly cloudy morning, but I'm looking forward to the safari here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands, South Africa. Good morning, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me, we've got Gert here on Rusty. I'm looking forward to this morning's drive. I'm at the back on the northern side of our camp, and I'm just looking around here because I know that there was Marips, that young male leopard, that was treed by by a male lion. Well, so it seems. I just saw a very quick screenshot from last night, so I'm just gonna pretty much comb around this area, around the camp area, just to see if I can pick up on any tracks this morning. But yes, joining us on this beautiful sunrise safari on this beautiful Saturday morning on Wendy, we've got Lauren and Owen up there in Pridelands, Chris and BK all the way in the northwest. In Matikwe we've got Trishala and Lloyd, and all the way down in the Eastern Cape in Amakhala, Ralph and Morgan. As you can see, it's a live and interactive show, so if you've got any comments, questions that you want to send through to us, or an amazing suggestion, and if you're watching on the WildEarth website or app, please make sure that you do register and then send those comments and questions through. Yes, so this is my plan of action. So I am going to just safari around this area, do a little bit of Gallagher Pan where we found Tlalamba yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon. Of course, that female leopard, and just to see if she's maybe in the vicinity or maybe Marips. But yeah, I think on that note, while the morning is still young, as I say, it's not warm at all. It's or not cold at all. Sorry, due to a bit of clouds. That's just keeping the heat in for the morning. So it's nice, lovely temperature, lovely. I do apologize now and again. I do sound a little bit clogged up, but I've got a funny nose. Norm Farrington, as always, thank you for joining us on our sunrise safari, Norm Farrington. And yes, I'm hoping we can find some nice, exciting sightings for you and for everybody else this morning. Let's go and take a look. Yeah. I don't usually get sinuses. Like, my sinus is always like top notch, but it seems like this morning my sinus has decided to go a little bit funny. I don't want to quickly, sorry, I just see something there. No, this is a termite mound. Alright, don't worry, sorry cat. This is a termite mound that's just lying down at the moment. It looked like a lion, it was lying there, but it was a coloration of a termite mound. Sometimes it can be quite deceiving. Always get excited when I see that. This is Nadine. He said that the lion was lying to me. What? Sorry? Alright. A little bit early in the morning for that, Nadine. It's alright. Okay, I see what you're saying. Alright, thanks Nadine. Of course, Nadine, our director this morning. But yeah, well, we're going to do a little bit of a search around here and a scratch around and see what we can find. Let's go and take a look at the weather all over today.
Good morning, everyone. What a fantastic start to the sunrise safari we are having. We have found a big, huge termite mound that looks like a rhino. Or is it a rhino that looks like a termite mound? I think that's the right one. I think it's a very sleepy boy who is still far too cold to move. I feel exactly the same. But good morning, my name is Lauren. Owen Dell, the cheese master, is on camera, and that is his thumb. Do you have cheese with you this morning? No, okay, it's an afternoon thing. Alrighty. Oh, look at him. You know, there's just something adorable about when rhinos sleep. They just huddle up. They've got all their legs tucked up underneath, try and bury their face in the grass, and just ouch, and just avoid the cold weather. But to be fair, it's not that cold this morning. I am exaggerating. It's cold. It's fresh, but it's definitely not as cold as it has been. I think that cold front is sort of moving away from us, which is a good thing. I'd like to find a leopard today too. There's lots of leopard movement back on Juma, which is good news. So I think I will also work the area trying to pick up on some leopard. Marib's possibly still in the area, although getting chased by lions is probably not going to make you hang around. Kalamba was here last night, and there was a deep sawing taking place right outside my room last night at about 9 o'clock. Could possibly be Mowati. So lots of action happening. Poor rhinos are trying to sleep. Imagine having someone go into your ear. Laura can. Yes, it's a great start. I think this is a dominant bull that we always see in this area. If you really are looking for a rhino, you should check Zoe's road. And even if you don't find him, you'll find his tracks. You can look at his midden and see whether there's fresh dung there. Has he been scraping? Has he been here recently? It's a really good road to check for rhino. Oxpecker. And just like elephants, rhinos absolutely do get ticks. But because their skin is so thick, it's normally in the softer, possibly more sensitive parts of the body. Clearly he's got some things that needs to be removed from his ears. Oh. And if my leopard plan fails...
Cross into Befesu on the east side.
Oh, Rexon. So yes, if my leopard plan fails, I obviously will check in at the hyena den and see what's going on down that side. Barbara Brown, it is wonderful to see these animals. It's wonderful to show you these animals. Things have changed here, policies have changed, and I think it's definitely the right thing and a positive thing that we can celebrate these amazing animals. We've always had a really good population here. We've always seen them. Juma's quite lucky. Normally, if people come here on safari and the guests are looking for them, Juma's a good property to check. Okay, I think we're just going to sit a little bit longer with our special sighting here.
Do you sometimes imagine what WildEarth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
think I still see the lion track. I see zebra tracks running here. Let me just double check on this. I'm not going to miss anything here. I don't see the lion track anymore. I might just shoot around. I'm just a bit worried on because he wants to. Looks like he wanted to head that side more to the south. Well, let's just go straight to that area. No track here. No lion track here. There's Impala there. Anything that side? No, it's just the zebras. No, that side again. All right. Perfectos.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Madikwe Game Reserve, where it is freezing. And yet again, my face is frozen. It's me, Trishala, by the way. I've got Lloyd on camera. We are also on not a very pretty road. We were hoping that we could find some elephants to see, or for our good morning and our hello to all of you. We saw them around this area, quite a lot of them around this area last night. Now they do move a lot, obviously, but we were hoping, you know how we are. We see an animal in one area and we always hope to see it again in the same area. Plans for today. Well, we're feeling a little catty. So last night on the way home, we bumped into the blonde male lion again, the one that we saw yesterday morning. So we're thinking maybe the cat luck is finally on our side. So feeling a little catty. We've covered quite a bit of ground already. We left quite early today from the camp. And we're going to be looking for any clues. But it's so nice and early that and cold, that I'm looking actually for movement. Clues are lovely too, but I'm looking for movement. I can hear some jackals in the background. Good morning, Dark Mane Lover. Thank you for sending us your good morning wishes. Come on, come here. I can hear a jackal quite close to us. Nope. Doesn't look like it's gonna come this way. Okay, well, then let's get going. Apologies if it's a little shaky. I'll try to be really slow. As least shaky as I can be with a diesel and these corrugated roads. Anyway, we're still feeling lucky. Let's see how it goes. So let me send you over to Lauren. She's got that rhino in the meantime.
Mr. Sleepy is slowly moving. No, I think we're just repositioning. We've been watching his breath. His big sighs, you can see it. Because it's so cold, you can see his hot breath coming out. Big animal, big breath. And we've been driving with these animals for a very long time. Okay, we didn't show you that, but most of them are really relaxed. Very relaxed and used to vehicles. I think it's just so wonderful that we can see them and spend time with them, even if they look like a big termite mound. And it's funny, sometimes in the dry riverbed, they'll just huddle down and you will never be able to drive that dry riverbed until they actually get moving. They like sleep. A lot more than elephants. They sleep a lot. Betty, you're asking, do both male and female rhino have horns?
Home ranges.
Horn?
Home ranges.
Home ranges. I don't know why I thought you said horns. Sorry. Home ranges. Every animal has home range. Even an insect. Even those that migrate. So when you're saying the word home range, you're actually referring to just the area that that organism uses on a daily basis to survive, that has all the resources that they need. So obviously for a rhino, water and delicious grass. That's really what a rhino needs. Obviously, if it's a male rhino, he's going to need females, and if it's a female rhino, they're going to need to encounter a male in order to reproduce. But every single organism has a home range. It's the territorial aspect of an animal that's a little bit different. That's when you actively have to defend that area that you want to claim as yours. It's a very selfish act. And it's claiming social dominance. Hey, this area is mine, but nothing comes for free. So in order to have that territory, you have to patrol, you have to mark, you have to scent mark. You have to actively make sure that no other rhinos are coming in, no other males are coming in. So there's a very big difference between territories and home ranges. But when you're asking about home ranges, every organism has a home range. That area that it's moving in. And that may change over time. It's not particularly fixed. Everything in nature is very fluid. So an animal may be using a particular area as its home range at one point in time, and then that will shift over time. Possibly those organisms that really travel far in the ocean and just continually roam and never use one area twice, possibly they don't have home ranges. But most organisms do. I don't think we're getting up anytime soon. I have lots of coffee here. Phil, you're asking if the rhino have names here in Juma? No, they don't. They are marked. You can see his ear notches. So he is very much known to the Sabisand and the anti-poaching unit. He's marked. But we do have a female that we recognize day in, day out. She does have unique features. So I've been tentatively and tenderly calling her Auntie because her features happen to be burns. And I don't think she should be identified by her burns because she's a fantastic female that we have known for years. She's been around for years and she's a survivor. It's easy to recognize her, and I don't think it should just be by her burns. So we call her Auntie, but otherwise the rhinos don't have names. Just because it's only a recent change that WildEarth have started to show them. Of course, they're dehorned and they're very much under the protection of the anti-poaching unit here, but we never showed them before. So maybe that's something that will come in the future, I'm not sure. But otherwise, they don't have names. But they are all individually marked. It may look like random notchies, but they're not. Resting, but listening to every little sound around him. It's very adorable.
Welcome to Africam, your window to Africa's wild spaces. Immerse yourself in the captivating sights and sounds of nature. With our high-definition cameras, you'll feel like you're right there, in the heart of the action, where every moment is a surprise waiting to unfold. Join our global community of wildlife enthusiasts as we witness nature's drama unfold in real time.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the Sunrise Safari, and we are coming to you live from the Amakhala Game Reserve in the Eastern Cape, where it's a lovely fresh start to the morning, but we're expecting it to get up to about 27 degrees later, so we're going to warm up quite nicely, which I'm very pleased about. On the camera I've got Morgan with me, that's his thumb, and my name is Ralph Kirsten. Guten Morgen to all of you and welcome to the Sunrise Safari. What are we going to get up to today? Well, I think we're going to head down into the basin, which is where you're looking right now. That's also looking into the area where the sun is going to come up. It is the last day on Amakhala for the next little while, for 2 weeks to be exact. So we're going to make the best of it. We're going to try and find all our wonderful characters. First up, I think we'll try for the breeding herd of elephants. Always lovely to be around them. And who knows, if we're lucky, maybe the lions will show themselves once more. Yesterday was a lovely special sighting in the morning with the male, the females and all the little cubbies. So today, who knows what we're going to find. But as per usual, please don't forget that this is a live and interactive experience, so we'd love for you to jump on board with us and send us through your questions and your comments. You can do that by going on the WildEarth website and registering, and get involved in the largest and greatest game drive in the world. What would you like us to look for? The three amigo cheetah, they have been they haven't been found yesterday afternoon. They've disappeared in the thickets. So maybe we'll be able to catch up with them if we're lucky. Trish, hello to you too from me and Morgan down here in the Eastern Cape, where we are warming up nicely after that huge cold front that we had a few days ago. So let's hope that there's lots of activity from the animals, and if we're extremely lucky, we might even see some of the smaller predators. Did hear some jackals calling earlier, so maybe today's the day for a caracal. We're going to head down the road called Dairy and into a crossing that there's often caracal seen, a crossing going across the Bushman's River, which is currently still dry. We're hoping if we do continue to get this wet weather that the underground water is going to fill up and this river system will flow once more. But for now, still dry, and a lot of the smaller predators do hang out down in that river line, as well as the lions and the elephants. They all enjoy walking in the river itself. Mary Ann, all the way from Kansas. Well, hello to you too, and lovely to have you on board with us. It is a beautiful start to the morning. There's not a cloud in the sky, and as I say, it's going to warm up considerably. So we're looking forward to a lovely, warm, active day here on Amakhala. The place of many aloes. Amakhala, the word in isiXhosa, that's what it means if you didn't know. And as per usual, the morning chorus of birds chirping all over the place. So, having a look now at the namesake of Amakhala. This is the Aloe ferox. And a lot of them are flowering currently, and that's it's great for a lot of the insects like honeybees, as well as birds like sunbirds, and it carries them through the winter months when we have these winter flowering plants. And the Aloe ferox being one of them. The Cape honeysuckle is another one. So Darcy Miller, I will try my best to find the largest bird in the world for you. The ostrich, I know where a couple of them hang out, so we'll go and have a look on that side of the basin later on. And also when we return out of the basin, there's also a spot near Leeuwenbush Pan where there's been a few of them hanging out there as well. So the sun just coming up, hasn't popped over the horizon just yet, but the light is now making it easier for us to see. Lovely, lovely start to the morning. We often just come and sit here and just check and see what animals we can see before we go down, and then we also just listen out for any of the alarm calls, etc. that we might hear that indicate any cats or predators around. Speaking of cats, let's go on over to Catman Chris.
Good morning, everybody, and it's a lovely, lovely overcast morning, quite comfortably in terms of temperature, and we are in the same region that we had that young male lion yesterday, and I'm like a cheetah perched on top of an old termite mound just to get a bit of elevation. I'm just scanning around. My name is Chris Erasmus, and operating camera today is still BK, and our plan is to go and find that lion again, and then anything that comes up. So we are in the same region where the lion was. I'm just going to walk up and down here, just north of where it was seen last night still. I just want to get an idea of where it's going. Look, the tracks that we're going to see here are going to be likely from early last night, but it will give us a direction. All right, so, and then we can try and follow that. Now, we're looking forward to a rather cool morning, so while I'm checking here for some tracks, don't really see anything around here. I've done a bit of a walk back from Leopard Dam, which is just behind us there, and I basically done this area here. There's a big open area right to our south called WildEarth. You might go and check there. Kabuki, so excited to see what we're going to find today. Yeah, I'm really hoping for some more lions. We've been in very short supply in terms of lions this last couple of days, except yesterday. But it will be great if we can find them, or him rather. I did hear one lion call at around about 5:30 this morning. It was rather soft, so it could either be that young male or perhaps one of the females. I am not sure. We've got some other guys checking the eastern boundary as well. We're going to go check the northern boundary after this. So hopefully, with all of us, we'll be able to locate and find that lion. Anyway, I'm going to go get going on that. In the meantime, let's head over to Lauren and find out what her plans are.
We've got the sweetest little sighting here. We do have a green wood hoopoe. I think it's an adult on the left attending to a juvenile on the right. Now, not only does the bird look smaller, it does, but look at the tail. The tail doesn't quite look right. And we're working with a lack of ambient light here, but when you're trying to identify a juvenile, the coloration is different, but we can't pick that out from here. And the bill is said to be less curved. The beak is less curved. It's very difficult to see if the beak is red or not. If it's red, then it's an adult. But either way, they've been grooming each other. It's really sweet. I love it when birds groom each other. I don't know why. I think it's a lovely act to do. Assist one another. You've got a big beak, yeah, you can really probably get the itchies and scratchies yourself. But it's always nice when someone can do it for you. And another thing, these birds rarely stay still. They're so difficult to get on camera. Ah! And just like that, the sighting is over. Oh, that was so sweet. All right, Owen, let's keep bumbling. This morning holds a lot of promise, I know it. I'm not loving these big grey clouds that are blocking out the sunlight, but we'll roll with it. You can't have everything. Now this was the area where Tlalamba was seen last night. It's worth checking. Imagine if she got lucky and she made a kill. So she was watching impala, I know that much. So if she did get lucky, then sadly one of those impala will be in a tree. See huge male leopard tracks coming in from the south. I think Mowati is back on the property. He was seen on Little Gowrie yesterday, briefly of course. And I think he's come back in. I'm not going to follow up because, well, it's Mowati. Big track. When you're so used to seeing the small ones of the females and then you see his. It's a big leopard track. This is actually a road that I really enjoy anyway. I don't drive it enough. I wonder if there's a road on the reserve that doesn't have fresh hyena tracks. I think we should check that out one day. That can be our aim of the morning drive, to find a road that doesn't have fresh hyena tracks. I really would like to see a leopard today. My time's running out here and I want to catch up with the spotted cats. But just a reminder, everyone, this is live and interactive. We don't have any animals because we have yet to find them. That's how you know it's live. And it's completely interactive. You can honestly talk away to us. Anything. If there's something you want to know about the Juma clan or a leopard or a lion, send it in. We will answer your questions. Or you can tell us what you want to see today, within reason. I don't think I'm going to find a pangolin. I've been here 5 years. Well, actually I was in a Madikwe for a year, so 4 years on Juma, and seen one pangolin. But you never know. That's the wonderful thing about nature. Expect the unexpected. Okay, we're going to keep checking this area very carefully, and we're now going to send you guys down to Madikwe.
Well, we are back at the spot where we're hoping that we'll be able to see a leopard. It's nice and early, so this is a good time. It's still a little cold though. It's a big understatement. So the cubs might not make an appearance, but it's always a good idea to check. We were in this area anyway. So why not? I'm also going to do like a bit of a scan around the area. She could be lying down anyway. It was quite disappointing yesterday spending this amount of time here and not being able to see her. And I really, really hope that we will be able to see her. Because we've spent so much time looking. But we can also do a few loops, come back, etc. Hope for the best. Maybe she's gone out hunting. We don't know. The sun's started to come. Oh, yay. The sun is well and truly out now, which is amazing. Hi, Linda. You'd like to know if there are cheetah in this area? There are cheetah all around here in Madikwe. If we can manage to get into one of those sightings, we will definitely let you know. I think the best cheetah sighting we had was, it wasn't the day we arrived, it was the day after when we saw the mum with her 3 cubs on the kill. Just as with the beautiful golden light of the setting sun. It was so stunning.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
Another vehicle is coming past now, so you might hear that. But some people, oh, it's so nice when people get used to knowing when we're live. So they're trying out a different angle on that side. I think about 3 or 4 vehicles have come past now to check it out. This is a big deal. A leopardwood cubs. It's a really big deal. And while we wait for them, for this leopard and the cubs to emerge, we can take advantage of the bush sounds.
My little walk around there didn't yield any tracks. However, there was further reports of one line calling directly north of the camp, so we're gonna slowly head in that direction. There were also tracks called in on the Game Drive radio that went from Leopard Dam in the northwest in a eastern direction towards exactly more or less where the lion calling were heard, and I'm gonna assume that it's that young male that we saw, because the tracks and the audio came exactly, it all adds up, and the type of calling was also, it was a roar, but it was, you could clearly hear it wasn't as loud as it would or possibly can. It's almost like I want to call out to the pride, but I don't want to shout too loud because those big males might hear me, and they want to try and hurt him. They want to box him up. It's a very stressful time for a young male lion, especially by himself. It's almost like nobody really wants you around anymore. The ladies in the pride, his mum and aunts, kind of like not really interested to have him around anymore. It's his time to move. And the new males that arrived wants to hurt him. So it's not a great place for one young male lion to be. It was a young brotherhood, a bit more of a chance of survival. I was just talking there. I'm just going to ask FC just to repeat that link for me to know where we're going next. And guess who? It's Lauren, who's doing some birding.
We're not really doing some birding. We're checking in with our baby, Batavia. Hello there. Don't know why I went Irish there. He or she is not Irish. But anyway, it is so wonderful to see them this morning. I have to say, they look rather cold. A bit hunched up, feathers still fluffed. And fluffing is actually a word, and I just love the fact that it's a word. In Scotland, we use fluffing for something else when you have wind. Anyway, birds really do that. That is how they keep warm, and it's the exact same principle and theory of a wetsuit, but with air instead of water. Trap that layer against your skin. Your body radiates heat. Your body is warm. You're a warm-blooded animal. Batavia is a warm-blooded animal. And by trapping air, obviously not water, because they're not an aquatic animal, once you trap it, that layer of air really heats up. It heats up against your body, and it creates almost like a hot water bottle all around the body, as long as you trap it. If you don't trap it, then cold air is going to seep in and you're going to lose that hot air. But that's why the birds do fluff up. They fluff in such a manner that that air is trapped against the body. And I think it's the cutest thing when you see birds all fluffed up. Keep seeing that black-headed oriole, but man, we're not getting that on camera. One day.
Chris.
Kelly, you've got to think about the animal. So a fish can't fluff up. Fish is also a cold-blooded animal. Warm-blooded animals versus cold-blooded are going to have very different ways at thermoregulating, either to keep warm or stay cool. So an animal, it refers to any living being. Also insects, cold-blooded, have a completely different way of thermoregulating their body. But mammals do fluff up, but in a different way. We refer to that as goosebumps or shivery pops, whatever you want to call them, where the hair stands up on end. We get them too, and that's a reaction to the cold, where the hair all stands up. It looks fluffy, and again, it's trying to keep that animal warm. Birds fluff using their feathers, but naturally they're the only group of animals that have feathers, so they're utilizing them. We call it fluffing. So birds are the only one that you would usually use the word fluffing for, but each animal, each organism has its way of keeping warm, and mammals do raise their hair, again, to trap that layer of air.
Lauren, alarm calls at the camp.
Coming from behind?
From the camp.
Camp.
Baboons alarming. Loud.
Okay, we're going to make a plan and decide what to do. Possibly we'll just turn around behind us. We do have Tlalamba's tracks. She didn't make a kill. We followed them all the way onto Texans. But we're a little bit out, so we're gonna just need to race there. Tlalamba went that way, so I don't think it's her. But Mowati's also in the area, so if it's him, then I don't know if we'll get lucky, but we can try. I was lost in my fluffing explanation there. Annalie, I would like to see a leopard today. I'm about everything out here. I follow up on birds, I go to the hyena den, love to do some insecting. That's not really a word, but today I'd love to see a leopard. Had awesome sighting with the black dam males yesterday. It was really nice to see them. Okay, we're gonna try and see what we can see, and maybe we'll get lucky with some spots.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
We got the leopard. I just don't know who it is yet. So I'm gonna guess Kalamba or Maribes. I think it's Maribes. No, don't go into this drainage line. Oh, we might have missed him. This drainage line is possible. I do know it. Yeah, I'm not sure we can give you a view right now, I'm afraid, but it is Maribes. I can see him. Okay, his trajectory is this way. We have got Maribes. He's just gone into this tricky drainage. Let's see if we can follow him. There are ways into this drainage, it is possible. I think we need to relocate him for now, FC. We had him walking all the way down Twin Dams Road and he's just cut into this drainage line. Okay, we're going to do our very best to try and locate Mr. Maribes, and you guys are going over to Chris with an elephant.
Lovely breeding herd of elephants, and this is a massive cow. She is enormous. Very, very old. Probably late 40s, possibly older, 50s. And we are minus one young Norththorn tree. Imagine that power, just breaking it like that. Could very well be the matriarch of this particular group. Well, long tusks for a cow, I must say. Just see how much stains are on that. Decades of breaking bark and branches, tannins and mud and all sorts of things staining those. Look at the cracks in the ivory there. I also could note there, so you see the left tusk, which is the one furthest from us, is a lot sharper than the one on the right, which is the one closest to us. And this is typically what you see with elephants. The one tusk, they deliberately sharpen, and that's the one used to wedge into the bark of certain trees to create the entry hole to start loosening it up in order for the trunk then to get hold of it and rip it off. Like us, they also show a preference for one side. So they are left or right, I can't say handed, but sided. In some elephants, the sharp tusk will be the left-hand one, and some will have the right-hand one. Some people write with their right hands, and some people write with their left hands. And elephants are the same in that respect. Who's shouting at us here? Probably a young bull. Maybe it's that one that gave us trouble last night. I think he recognizes us. Ooh, here's that big green thing with 2 heads and 4 round legs. It's a young bull. He's going to come cause trouble now. But I'm not worried. They do that. It's something that they do. Okay, boy. Like I said, I'm not too worried. It's the young boy trying to show off. That's all it is. Anyway, we're going to stick here for a little bit, see if there's not perhaps babies we can find. But let's head back to Lauren, who's with none other than Mr. Fluffy Ears.
We found him. Tough visual in the drainage line down behind the dam wall. But here is Mr. Mareebs. He's moving in. I'm just watching to see where he's going. It's a tricky drainage. You can't get in. Kalamba used to love this drainage line. She probably still does. Okay, Owen, let's go round. At least we saw him. Wasn't the best visuals we've ever had, but at least we got him. He's been in this whole area last night. I also think Mowati's in the area. And Kalamba's tracks were heading down towards Treehouse Dam. Dark Mane Lover, you're happy we've got Mareebs. Ah, there it is. He's still small. He's getting bigger, of course, but he's still small, but he's still young. And although he's doing the behaviour of scent marking, he isn't actually truly scent marking. He's biologically doing the act of spraying because biologically he has to. But if you think about it, his scent is not actually containing any information. It's not saying, hey, I'm a dominant territorial male. So anyone that smells that scent that he's actually leaving behind is not going to sort of think this is a dominant male. It's just a young male leopard, which is exactly what he is. Okay, let's... Oh no, he's right there. Sorry, Owen, I wasn't looking at my monitor. He's making it easy for us, I must say. He's not going into the drainage line, not just yet. Annalie, I don't think so. I don't think so. Mareebs is busy. I don't think he's camera shy. He was walking down Twin Dams Road. I think he's hungry. He was watching a daycare, but there's lots of alarm calls. The baboon's still going. The daycare saw him immediately. But I definitely... don't think Reeves is camera shy. This is a thick part. I can still hear all the alarm calls. Everyone's going crazy. I think he needs to move a little bit further away in order to be successful, because everyone in this area is going to be on high alert. In case you do see Cedric's vehicle, he is also in the sighting with me. We don't normally do 2 sightings together, but I called him in because he is on a private safari. So in case you do see him or hear him, that's what he's doing. Okay, we're gonna try and see if, there we go, if we can get a visual of our little prince here.
Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rut. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
So the trunk inserts it into the mouth, and then it's a combination of the trunk and the tongue and molars then work in in a trio to then dislodge the bark from the twig. That comment from Cara, another Mr. Fluffy Ears. Actually, Miss Fluffy Ears, Mrs. Fluffy Ears. It's an incredibly designed animal, I must say. It's one of those odd things in nature. And especially that trunk. One of the most amazing adaptations I've seen in the animal kingdom.
Cedric's currently live. Sorry, everyone.
Copy, Lauren. Confirm you got an Ingwe.
Yeah, but I'm on lock with the Mareebs.
Alright, copy. Twin Dams.
Twin Dams Road on the northern side, closer to Gowrie Dam, is mobile through the drainage.
Alright, copy. Thank you, Lauren.
No worries. Sorry, everyone. I forgot I was live there. He's right in there. I see him. I see him. Let's see if we can go in here. He's on a mission. Oh, there he is.
Isabella.
Look at him. Oh, that's my head, sorry. Eddie in the USA. Why do I turn everything into song? It's really irritating, sorry. Eddie, yes, absolutely. They wouldn't survive here otherwise. Animals can only survive and thrive and be reproductively successful if there is enough resources. So there's plenty of water this year, my goodness, and absolutely enough prey. Leopards will eat anything. There was a study done and it once analysed the, I think it was stomach contents or sort of the leopard's diet, and there was 92 different prey animals, from alates to tortoises to lizards, birds, steenbok and pala. There he is there. They've got a very broad diet. They will eat anything, very opportunistic. Of course, they'll have their favourites, like we all do, our favourite flavours. I don't know if that's the right word. But very broad diet. So he wouldn't be able to survive, especially as a young male, if he didn't have the right resources. So there's plenty here. Impala seems to make up the bulk of a leopard's diet. But if he's unsuccessful with impala, he'll continue to hunt scrub hares, maybe rats, bushveld, gerbils, climb up a tree to take chicks. Really broad diet. Oh, sorry, my big head again. Alrighty, I think we're playing leapfrog with Mareebs this morning. Feels that way. It's amazing, they've all been off the property and now everybody's back on it. Mowati's definitely on our property and he came up. Klalamba's on it and Mareebs. They're all here. Here's a nice open area. Joshua, you think Owen is the reason for the leopard luck? Nah.
Of course.
Nah, I'm not going to give Owen that credit.
Come on. Admit it.
Owen and I just tease each other all day long, non-stop event of teasing each other. Maybe it's the cheese. They can smell the cheese. Anyway, thank you, Owen, for bringing me the leopard luck. Oh, what a gorgeous young boy he is. Look at that. You could be forgiven if you didn't get a look at the rear end. You could be forgiven to think that this was a female. You could. He's still small, but when you see his tracks are fat. They're chunky. They're big. They're obviously not Moati's size, but they're bigger than a female. A young male gets to a point where naturally his tracks probably are the same size as the female, and it can become really confusing between the two. But at this stage, they're bigger now. Oh. Gotta love it when you get whacked in the face by the vegetation. Just love it. Okay, Mareeves, where are you off to now? It's actually really nice working this sighting with Cedric. Obviously, that's not how WildEarth works. We swap, we work together, we go on separate little missions. It's always fair. The area in the morning, someone else will work it in the afternoon. But it's actually nice to be in the same sightings. We're going in here. Darcy Miller, yay! Over the moon. The baboons did give it away, and it's funny because we were at Philemon's Dip, and I know some of you won't know we was there, but it's quite far away and we could hear the baboons. You guys heard, we were with Batavia. It's amazing how sound travels, and obviously we know where the baboons hang out, so as soon as we heard them we would have came straight here, but naturally the dam cam also picked up on that, and my director said, turn right, turn right. So we got there in the end. Teamwork. He's just skirting this drainage line. This is a very extensive drainage line that goes all the way to Gowrie, Maine. It's a Moati. The very northern side of the Moati, close to where Cedric got stuck, actually. Just want to put that in there. And he's pretty much dipping into it. Let's see if we can go forward a little bit. It becomes quite drivable at one point. Oh, he's looking great. He is looking great. He's still young if you think about it. He's still got a long way to go. I very much remember Hosanna at this age. This road goes all the way around, I'm sure. This is where we used to have the Inkahumas. I'm just gonna hit a stump. Sorry, Owen, just let me get around this corner. But yes, he's looking good. He's going to turn into a fine, fine leopard. With those genes, there's no other choice. I've still not finished my coffee, everyone. I wasn't quite ready for this. He's heading up that way. Let's just give you a bum shot and then we'll turn around. It would be nice to see him on a kill here. He's definitely looking. You often find young male leopards around his age. They gotta eat. They really gotta eat. Got a lot of development to go. And he's very much at the exploration stage. And I know some people saw him sort of saint marking the other day and they thought, oh, I wonder if he's gonna take up territory here.
To find out now, making my way, I think she said Twin Dams Road somewhere. Just trying to Kaluma if she still maybe has him because apparently she followed him in the drainage.
I'm standing by for you guys.
How's it, Lauren? Are you still with my lips?
Yeah, but 2 vehicles on lock. That is space for 1. He's still moving south on Twin Dams Road, just on the northern side, the drainage side.
Alright, copy. Do you mind if I can make my way there, bro?
Yeah, Bo, you can. Both Cedric and I are live, but you won't miss our vehicles.
Alright, copy. It's both of you there.
We are for the time being. Yep, not for much longer.
Okay, copy. Yeah, what's your last now? Because I'm on Twin Dam Road.
Okay. When the grass gets... there he is. Okay. When the grass gets long like this, you also have to be really careful because leopards can vanish in the long grass and naturally you don't want to... it's getting thick. You want to know their location at all times. I don't want to spook him. I think we could maybe give you a view of his cute little tail. I don't want to drive round and flush him out. He is just over there. You see him, Owen? There you go. And you know, anything could be sleeping or hiding in that long grass. This is where scrub hares go down for the night. This is where all sorts of rodents hide. There could be anything hiding in there. That's probably what he's banking on. I remember watching Hosanna and Klalamba at this age, just hunting all sorts of small animals, practicing, snacking along the way. Like the bigger animals are sort of not playing ball. Okay, we're going to try and see if we can keep up with Mr. Maribs.
Did you know that the WildEarth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the WildEarth family better? See how we live.
This is Igor's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
So the lining inside the mouth is very, very tough and resilient to thorns. And also the molars are very broad and very wide to chew that. Remember, those thorns are all just modified leaves, so there are, in fact, nutrition for the elephants in there. Interesting, eh? You can see they're not after the wood inside the twig. It's all the bark. That's what they're after. The smaller twigs and the leaves. Not my preferred diet, to be brutally honest. I prefer human food. But if I were to be an elephant, the twigs of knobthorn trees is one of the staples that I would consume. Milo is just sending a comment there just to thank us for this great sighting. You're most welcome, Milo. I'm delighted that you are appreciating this as much as I am. Hello, you're coming to say hello to us. Just like a quick little, how's it? Hello. A lot of people would have misinterpreted that as aggression. Elephant was walking fast towards us, but there was nothing in her demeanor that alerted me in any way. And that comes with time and experience and training. Probably in the first year or so of my career, I probably would have maybe acted a bit. You need to know when to act, when to raise your voice, and when to start doing alternative measures when an elephant apparently acts a bit more direct towards your vehicle. In this case, I had no doubt that it was just a friendly little walk by, driven by curiosity. Like I always say, you can sit and watch elephants for long periods. They're always doing something. Compared to lions that can be mundane when they sleep and don't move. Yet another twig of this knob thorn transferred to the mouth. Well, they're utilizing this small tree thoroughly in this case. They've broken it, but at least they are retrieving quite a bit of value from it. Carol didn't know that they can chew branches. Carol, it's one of those things that they specialize in. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, the teeth, the trunk, the lining in the mouth. It's designed for them to chew twigs of trees and so forth, and specifically to target the bark around them. They don't really eat the wood as much. Sometimes the smaller twigs, you'll find small pieces of wood. Not much nutrition they get from that, and that just passes through, almost like a little bit of a fiber. But it's not their only food. I mean, elephants have a very wide range of things that they consume. Twigs, bark, leaves, roots, fruits, herbs. And it changes. And it actually changes as the seasons change. Certain times of the year they consume a lot more grass, and certain times of the year they'll eat a lot more bark of trees. The young one is also joining them now. There's a duck I'm in shot there. No, it's approaching our car, but anyway, back to the big ones. You can clearly see there how the bark has been removed from that thicker branch. They put one end into the mouth and then they just chew it from like left to right or the other way around, depending on the side preference, how the animal's brain is rigged. And it comes out near clean the other side, just a piece of wood. There we can see how that bark is removed from the branch. Oldie but a goodie. Yeah, some of these trees do recover relatively quickly. I mean, like things like a young knobthorn like that, they've not damaged the lower part of the tree towards the root system, so it will regrow. Some of these don't recover if the elephant damages the tree to that extent. And it's all part of their ecological niche. These big pachyderms, they are essentially our, not only our gardeners, but they're essentially landscape engineers, environment engineers. They can change environments. They can turn woodlands into open grasslands. They can turn grasslands into deserts. They can turn forests into woodlands. The thing is, in woodland savannas like this, whether you're in the bushveld, lowerveld, or some of the shrub savannas that we have elsewhere, it's vital that you have this system in place to open up the area in order for more sun to reach the basal cover of the ground, which is grass, which is the most important plant community out here in the savannah.
Stay up to date with the latest happenings at WildEarth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. WildEarth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
What do you think, Odie?
Something going on.
Paul, it's very exciting. I think I'm just gonna bumble. You know, I think the black dam males came through this way. I don't know if that was the lion that chased Mareebs this morning. Or sorry, last night. I think it was at 10 o'clock last night. But the black dam males came up. They were heading north towards Twin Dams Road. And it could make sense that they came through this way. And of course, they could have killed something small-ish and left. It doesn't mean the predator is still around. But a Tony and hooded vultures, as well as the battaliers gone crazy. Oh, I think something's up.
So we've taken a bit of a break from the leopardess and the den. We did a little bit of a loop, went down towards Chikudu Dam, and now we're heading back up. It's warmed up significantly, so I hope that will make... Let me just turn that off. I think I misheard what that man was saying on the radio. My brain got confused. I was saying that it's warmed up significantly now, so I'm hoping that means that she will be active. I mean, it's just all hoping, right? We gotta go check, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go check. Now, giraffes and elephants, they've been pretty quiet this morning, and I expected, I mean, as usual, they're all over the place. I thought that we'd see some. We only saw 2 giraffes while we were sitting there waiting for the leopardess. But they were kind of in the distance. So I would really like to spend some more time with giraffe and elephants as well. I mean, I always do. They're some of my favorites, and out here we're spoiled with them. They're so numerous. I just keep feeling like I'm seeing cats. But it's all in my imagination for now, but not in Ralph's, so let me send you over.
Well, yes, lucky for us, we've been able to catch up with the lion pride. And here, they've obviously made a kill early this morning, or maybe last night. Not exactly sure on what, but we can see some ribs and so on. It doesn't seem like it was a very big animal, but these youngsters are still chewing on the ribs there in this lovely morning glow. It's beautiful.
Warthog, you can see the tusk.
Warthog, Morgan says you can see the tusk. Okay, I'll have a closer look with my binos.
The middle cow.
Okay, although we've got action, so does Lauren.
I apologize. I thought Daddy Batelier here had a snake, and Batavia also thought he had a snake, because he came in with something dangling from his mouth, and Batavia got very excited. Look, he or she's looking for the snake. But it was actually a branch. I'm sorry. It's difficult to see in this lack of ambient light. It seems like Daddy's still maintaining that nest. He just brought a stick. And Batavia thought it was a snake. Oh! Sadly, it's not a snake, Batavs. But I think you're hungry. I can hear you calling. It's nice to see the whole family. This is a family tree. Batavia's hungry. That's a hunger call. Oh, did Daddy just come back with a stick and not a snake? I didn't get that question, I'm afraid. I see one more time. Moonduck, yes. We've been following this family. Mom and Dad have just flown off. But yes, they are monogamous. A monogamous pair that we actually know. And they have a very high level of parental investment, and that's actually the beauty of being monogamous. They don't have to waste energy on trying to attract other mates or multiple females or males, get a breeding plumage, do a dance, sing a song. Yes, they have a courtship ritual. Any couple kind of does, but they're very, very invested in raising that one chick. And this happens to be Batavia. It was Batilda a few years ago, and they maintain the nest together. Currently, they go hunting and still feed Batavia together. It's a very high level. Man, I thought that was a snake. Okay, we're having one of those mornings. I'm going to keep on bumbling for now because those vultures were in the area. Leopard tracks, a leopard behind us. I think there's a lot going on in our property, which is a stark contrast to the other few days. It's been a quiet week and then it all goes boom. When it rains, it pours. So that wasn't a snake, it was a stick, but that's okay. You're gonna go back over to Ralph, who definitely has lions.
So, just enjoying watching these youngsters have their breakfast, and it's a lovely bit of bacon. It's confirmed that it is indeed a warthog. And I just saw the male walking through in the background. It's in the thickets there, moving off to the left. But jeepers, these cubs have grown, hey? Were they born last year, October, I think it was? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 10 months. Ooh, in the background, mommy's having a bit of a game with the male. They have been making sort of signs that they might start mating. So maybe that's why they're hidden off there in the thickets. Oh, look at this youngster picking up the skull of the prize bacon. There's a lot of warthogs on this reserve, so the lions do eat a lot of warthogs. It's pretty easy to catch, but it's not very substantial, especially with these 4 cubs now that are growing up really quickly. They're going to have to start getting more substantial food, or just more warthogs. But they don't always hunt warthogs. They also take down eland, kudu. What else have we seen them take down here? Mainly that, but a lot of warthogs. So Cyril, up until a little while ago, they would have always been leaving the cubs in a thicket when they go off to hunt, and they give a little contact call, and the cubs understand that specific call means they must stay. And they'll go off and hunt, and then when they return into the area, there's another contact call that they give that is obviously very specific. We can't really pick it up, but that is the call for the cubs to come out, and that's exactly what they do. But now these cubs have actually started going with the adults on their hunts. So it's getting interesting now, because we've got an extra 4 in the team. But for now, there's still a bit of a liability, because they're giving their position away, etc., and they're not very experienced hunters. So as you can imagine, they make a lot of mistakes, and as a result, they can pretty much turn a hunt into a failure, and they do that quite regularly. So then the adults will allow them to come with them, but then if they start to get hungry and the cubs are messing it up, they'll still give them that signal to stay behind, and off they go. Then they'll get a kill, and then they'll call the cubs in, or they'll go and fetch them and bring them to the kill, or take the kill to the cubs. It will be one of those. But also, what happens now is the cubs are starting to not listen to the adults anymore with that call to stay. And more, they'll continue going on and following the adults in the hunts themselves. What's that youngster after? Obviously spotted something to go and chase. He didn't really sprint. More of a jog, but now the female's having a look in the background as well. With cats, as soon as one goes, it really tickles all of their interest. And a lovely call of a red-throated wryneck just off to our right. And red-faced mousebirds. Yep, absolutely, Jimmy the Bull, pork ribs for breakfast. And this youngster now is really enjoying it, I think. And the bigger they get, the more they're going to fight over food, especially small stuff like this, where there's not really that much to go around. and then they'll start fighting, and that will also cause them to start, wanting to hunt more and to hunt bigger animals. And so it's going to be really interesting and amazing times ahead as these 4 cubs come into maturity, and then this unit will really start hunting a lot more efficiently. There's a couple of pied crows that have joined and just looking down over these lions, hoping for a scrap of this meat to be left behind, or any chance that they could fly down and grab a piece of meat. The pied crows here pretty much taken over the niche or the spot of vultures, and that's as a result of the historical farming practices in these parts, and predator-human conflict. So the likes of lion, leopard, spotted hyena, caracal, and all sorts would have fallen foul to poisoning, and any of those carcasses would have then been eaten by the vultures, and they would have obviously then been poisoned too. So little to no vultures remain in the Eastern Cape. Every now and then we do get a Cape vulture that passes through. It's a bit blown off course further up in the Eastern Cape, into the Transkei or now the Wild Coast. There are some big colonies of Cape vultures, but none particularly in this area. So the crows take their place. Maybe with all these private reserves protecting and not poisoning and moving away from agricultural and livestock, hopefully we'll have some of those vulture colonies returning. As the youngsters now give that female, that's the aunt, not the mom, a little bit of a chase. It's playtime after breakfast. Here comes the male. And you'll see these little youngsters can be quite defensive over the food. Oh, look at that, having a play with Dad. He's probably going to... Oopsie, so one of the youngsters been a bit naughty, being told off. It looks like there was a bit of aggression there, but everything's calmed down. What a lovely pal.
Welcome to Africam, your window to Africa's wild spaces. Immerse yourself in the captivating sights and sounds of nature. With our high-definition cameras, you'll feel like you're right there in the heart of the action, where every moment is a surprise waiting to unfold. Join our global community of wildlife enthusiasts as we witness nature's drama unfold in real time.
to become a skilled safari guide, traversing the African bush and encountering wild animals up close. Whether you're a retiree, a recent graduate, or a professional seeking a change, the 55-day eco-training program is for you. This comprehensive course will provide you with an unparalleled opportunity to gain expertise in every aspect of the African bush. With the coaching of experienced training guides, you'll embark on an unforgettable adventure that will give you a deep understanding of wildlife, conservation, and African cultures. Over the course of the program, you'll learn essential skills such as animal tracking, bird identification, and bush survival techniques. But the benefits of this rigorous training go far beyond technical knowledge. You'll also form close bonds with fellow nature enthusiasts and conservationists from around the world, creating a global network of like-minded individuals. Your days will be filled with excitement and wonder as you observe animals in their natural habitats and explore the diverse landscapes of Africa. Return home with newfound knowledge, a qualification, unforgettable memories, and a sense of accomplishment that will last a lifetime.
Now, one thing, if you're with elephants, that you are guaranteed to see is this bird. Black bird with slightly reddish eyes. He looks kind of like top heavy. He's like this very sort of like round shaped barrel type torso. And then the long, slightly forked tail. And that is the forked tailed drongo. And they will very often follow elephants around, and they are indeed after all the insects that associate around elephants. Firstly, flies that are attracted to the elephants, and also as the elephants move through the bush, they do disturb and chase up other insects. So the drongos hunt from this perched position, move with a particular elephant as they move along. And then when they spot a fly or a bee or whatever it may be, they quickly do a little sortie and catch their prey in flight. They have even been observed to exhibit similar behavior to oxpeckers, where they actually pluck parasites off the elephants, especially in areas where there's a lack of oxpeckers. Remember, the elephants don't really tolerate oxpeckers. You very seldom see oxpeckers in elephants. And as I said that, I've got a question from Declan. Why do oxpeckers not remove the ticks from elephants? Elephants don't really tolerate them, Declan. They don't like oxpeckers. That skin, as tough as it is, are still rather sensitive. It's almost as if they don't like oxpeckers on them. Even the drongos that try and go and pluck stuff from them, they're not too keen on that. Remember, elephants have a very effective way to deal with ticks, and that's by mud wallowing and sandbathing, which is actually very, very effective. You're begging for some milk, Mum. Did you see how the trunk gets placed on the forehead and then they suckle with the mouth? And again, it's a common belief, and I've seen this a lot, where people tend to think that the elephant calves will suckle with their trunk. But there we can clearly see they don't. They suckle with their mouths, just like most other mammals. Bend the trunk upwards so the mouth can get up there. Great quality time spent with an elephant herd that are very accommodating with our presence. They just continue to eat, a sign that we are not disturbing them whatsoever. Actually, a little bit of a sore there on the base of a trunk. Not too bad, not worried about that. Gary wants to know if the drongos will feed on the grass in elephants' dung. Gary, not really, Gary. They are consumers of protein. They are hunters. They mainly feed on insects, especially bees and flies, crickets, grasshoppers, and those type of things. But what might happen is elephant dung does attract a whole array of insects and arthropods, and they might feed on that. They're not really made to sit on the ground and pluck stuff. These guys are specialists in aerial hunting of insects, for or most notably flies and bees. Extremely maneuverable birds. Short distance maneuvering, great capability there. Short, broad wings, the forked tail. Almost think of it as a crop dusting plane. Not bad for long distance flight, short distance, highly maneuverable. Right, well, this was lovely. I think we're going to probably go to another area now. But let's head back to Rolf, who's still with the lions.
So these lions are really enjoying this beautiful warmth in the sun. It's so are we, and it seems like the skull of the warthog is just being passed between them. Everybody having a go. What's left of it actually reminds me of a catfish skull. It's a very similar shape, obviously without the tusks. But I think it was quite a big warthog. Well, it hasn't lasted long. They're finishing off the remains. This setting is just beautiful with this male now looking into the sun. I'm pretty sure they'll go for a little sleep after this. Anne-Marie, yeah, they are growing up fast, aren't they? It's incredible. I've been away for about 3 months, I think, and they've doubled in size. It's incredible. But yeah, it's good that they keep feeding, and the adults are obviously doing well and providing the meat that they need. They're all growing animals, so they need lots of food. And they're going to need more and more, and as I say, that's what's going to drive them to start hunting with the adults as well. They are moving with the adults already and trying to hunt. I just don't know how successful they've been. It's lovely here in the basin with the birds next to the thicket here. Lots and lots of calling going on. The robins are getting involved now too. See it there. It's like a toy, what's left of that warthog. You don't see as a result, because this warthog, you know, with so many mouths, it's not going to be filling them up. So they're not looking very fat or overly bloated. So they would have eaten the likes of a kudu or eland, and have all big fat bellies. This is almost just like a snack for everybody. It's an hors d'oeuvre, an entree. This female now, the auntie of the cubs, is going to come walking past us. Right, so this is wonderful. And as the female walks off, I think it's time for you to head to Juma, where it sounds like Lauren, well, at least I hope, is with some other cubs.
I need to slow it down a little bit. It's been quite a busy morning. Lots happening. So I thought I'd come and check on the hyena den. It's very quiet. No June bugs so far. No June, just Tima in her usual little spot. Tima, we really want to see your little one. It's all a timing thing at this stage. And where are the other? I do not know. This is not as communal as I have seen in the past, but of course checking in every single day is important. June could just be round the corner. We saw her and Junebug yesterday, so don't worry, they're all good. Sometimes they just have their own little spot that they like to lie down and sleep. And I've noticed June removes him from the den in order to suckle. I think she wants peace. She doesn't want him stimulated by the vehicle and by Tima, because it gets him hyper. Yeah, I think she removes him and just finds a quiet space, and it's time to nap now, Junebug. But he could easily be inside the den. It's been a bit of a cold morning, so it's maybe a slower morning for him. Every day we come and Tima's just here now. He definitely doesn't look as foolish as he did the other day. Annabelle, you're asking to send me a blanket. I'll take that blanket. Is it a virtual blanket? I'll take it. I love blankies. For the little baby, not for me. Oh. No, that little baby is absolutely fine. That little baby is tucked up inside that den and will very much be warm in there. Remember, termite mounds are already temperature controlled. They're designed that way by the termites. So Owen and I will take the blanket. But I can assure you that little baby is absolutely fine. Especially when you've got a big mama like this to snuggle into too, and all that milk. Some of the richest milk in the animal kingdom.
Chatting around a fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of WildEarth's Fireside Chats.
She's gone into a deep sleep now. She could have fed already, of course. And just a reminder to you all that WildEarth do try very hard to connect the world to nature. That's our mission. That's all we want to do. Don't want to cause arguments online or debates. We just want to connect you in any way that we can. We all have different ways of doing this in Naturalist. But if you would really like to help our mission, pop onto the website and click donate.
Well, well. Can you spot the leopard? Can you see what's lying somewhere? Is it in the grass? Is it in the hole of the tree? Or is it in the tree? Or right up in the tree? Where is that leopard? I'm sure there must have been a leopard that walked past here. Look very carefully. There he is! Of course, we got Marips once again. Thanks to Lauren for finding Marips this morning. So we've just relocated on Marips here in the Mulwati riverbed. And he is fast asleep. He's a sleepy, sleepy cat this morning. Well, I can imagine. Last night, having to deal with some lions coming into his little space. We had to climb a tree. I'm sure he's now very happy rather just to lie in this grass using his camouflage, and doesn't have to worry about too much for now. You can see his little ear there, one of the fluffy ears, but it is well camouflaged, isn't he? Oh, what a beautiful boy. Oh, wait, something got his attention. What was that? What did you hear, my boy? What did you hear? Are you going to come out of the grass for us? But typical for leopards, ideal habitat for them now, especially for Marips. You know, he doesn't want to be seen by any other predators or any other birds or squirrels. He doesn't want to have anything alarm calling. He's giving us a bit of a funny eye, but no, he's going back to sleep. I don't think he's going to be doing too much for the morning. I think he is in a perfect little position here. It's amazing. We could drive right past him here and we would not even know that he's lying in the grass. But still great to see him moving around this area. And he's doing so well. He's clever. He's actually, always we think, oh, Marips the clown and all that, but he's a clever leopard. You know, he's staying out of the big male leopard's teeth and claws and that. He's making sure that he is avoiding them at all cost. As you know, he hasn't got really an area or a set territory that he is pretty much owning as of yet. But he is moving north. So he's been up north, he's been north of Djuma, he's been in Buffelshoek, so he might have been looking around that side for a nice space for himself. Rishon, good morning. Yes, Marips, the lovely boy, is stunning. How nice. I think we are just so fortunate seeing him so often. And I'm just crossing fingers that we keep on seeing this young male around here on Djuma, and he doesn't venture too far. As you know, there has been other male leopards that moves way out of the area to go look for a territory of their own. Moondas, that's a difficult question. I mean, I really thought by now Mulwati would have said, listen, that's it, done. Your time is up and you need to start moving out of here. And especially that we've had mating leopards on Dam Cam the other day. I'm sure it was Mulwati, because I don't think Mulwati will allow another male in this area. So that could be a big thing where, I don't know, maybe in the next month or two, I don't know. I'm not going to even try and speculate here, because every time I say it might be the last time we see Marips, and we see him again. And I say the same thing over and over and over, and we keep on seeing him. So, which is not a bad thing, at all. But, I think when he's getting like, he's 3.5 now, it is pretty much that time. It is time, usually between 3.5, where they will kind of start looking for a little void somewhere where they can set up their own little territory. And talk about mating leopards. Now, an interesting fact about mating leopards here now. So, a lot of you are thinking, which female was mating with Mulwati? Which leopards were mating on Gary, on the dam cam? Now, with my experience over the years with leopards and leopards mating and all that, I've seen that, of course, if a female is mating with a male, usually after like the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th day, you actually start seeing a bit of a, how can I say, you get like a rough patch on the female's neck. Almost like a scab, but it's just dried saliva. So what happens, the male is holding the female down when he's mating with her, so all his saliva is gathering on her neck here, as well as biting her on the neck. And what happens, she gets like a very dark, like a scabby kind of effect on her head. So if you look at Tlalamba, there's nothing like that there on her back of her neck. And I've seen it every single time. When male and female is mating, that female will end up with a very much of a brown, dark brown color on the neck, because of the saliva from the male, as well as from the male holding her down when he's copulating with that female. I looked at Tlalamba, there was nothing of any sort of scabs or kind of dried saliva that was situated on her neck. So yeah, I don't think it was Tlalamba that was mating with Mulwati. It's difficult to see if it was Kara, because I did see like smaller female leopard tracks in that area that the following day. And it could be Kara, it could be a female that's from the north, I'm not too sure. But other females do move into other females' territories. If they are mating, they'll move with males. And, as long as they can copulate with them, then they're happy. But yes, that's why it's a given thing. If you find a female leopard that's got that kind of rough, scabby stuff on her neck, on the top of the neck, then you know that she's been mating with a male. And that's every single time. You can imagine every like 5-10 minutes, if you're mating and he's biting your neck, and that drool and that saliva just running down, and it just gathers up there. Hey, my boy. Hey, you got your head up. Hello. Look at little fluffy ears. Yes. We're talking about mating leopards. Are you planning that sometime soon? Are you planning to do that one day? We can't wait to see we can't wait to see little Marips running around. Baby Maripsies. Well, no, he's not interested. He's like, yeah, not today. Not today. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely come here this afternoon and try and follow up on him. But it is a cool day. It's not that hot, so he might have a little bit of a, as we call it, a cat nap for now. And then maybe later on he might start moving around, and he might just head down the Mulwati again. Oh, they've got a battalier that's just passing by.
Hi, my name is Claire. WildEarth has been part of this home for many years, as it connects us to the bush and the culture that we love and miss so much. I became an explorer so that other people around the world can get to experience the African bush in this unique way as well. I am beyond excited that I was drawn to win the prize at Ambakala Game Reserve for 3 nights. It is truly a dream come true.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
Standing by. Excuse me, everyone.
You copy the update of Salamba?
Negative. What's happening?
I just left the open lock. She was bumping on the Layla on Juma. Savage track. Going north on the Layla.
Yo, we were just there. Are any stations on lock?
That was just me. I left the open lock. I called on to Juma Channel. I thought you guys closed down.
Sorry, I was on the east. So Savage's track on the northern side of Treehouse?
No, southern side. She's heading towards Treehouse. Just bumping in that direction. Boombas!
Copy, thank you. Alrighty, bye in teamsy teams. We were just there looking for Tlalamba. Anyway, let's see if we can try and get her before the end of drive. We thought let's check in at the media. Okay, everyone, you know that thunder's a bit of a no-no for us. Oh, it's attacking the monitor lizard. Let's just watch this play out. She's trying to protect her babies.
Shook the birds out of it. He's going to push this whole tree over. No ways. Casual. And look how he's looking at us. Guys, that is unbelievable. Alright, so we do apologize. I think we just lost Lauren there. But look at this. We've got a vulture. It looks like a white-headed vulture to me. You see the pink head? Yes, it's a white-headed vulture. How awesome is this? We don't get to see a white-headed vulture that often. Oh, look at that. So yeah, the white-headed vulture being around this side, there must be something in the vicinity. Apparently, Nadine, our director, just told me now that Lauren had some vultures and close to the battalion nest. So there must be seeds. It is dropping towards that area now. And yeah, this is a very uncommon vulture. They are so beautiful. It's actually one of my favorite vulture species, the white-headed vulture. Because on top of, well, hence the name white-headed, because that little bit of that white, like almost like a helmet that's got on top of its head. But this one looks like more of a juvenile, a little bit of a darker one, like darker feathers on top. It hasn't gone completely white. Wow, wonderful white-headed vulture. Another one for the list for this stint. We usually get always the white-backed vultures, we get the hooded vultures, more of the common vultures, but the white-headed and the lappet-faced vulture, I don't get to see them too often. Now it looks like it's dropped down that side. Maybe I'll go and take a little bit of a trot in that area, a little bit of a walk, get my shoes dirty, just to see what's happening in that block there. My tummy's growling. My tummy is just growling. Alright, looks like it's moved off. And clearly old Marips is not too perturbed about that. I thought he would have been typical Marips ways. I thought he might have gone into that block to go and follow up on what's happening that side if there is a kill. But it looks like he's not too interested. He's more interested in a sleep. Ah, Marips, lazy boy. Well, as you can see, it is live and an interactive show. So if you've got comments or some questions that you want to send through to us, please do so. If you are watching on the WildEarth channel or the app, make sure that you do register. The registration is very simple and quick. And you can send those comments and questions through to us. Oh yeah, I had a live show. I mean, not a live show. I had a private show this morning for an hour, which was wonderful, lovely. At Marips, thanks to once again to Lauren. We had Marips, we had a nice white rhino, and we had some nice discussions. It was awesome. I really enjoyed the private show this morning, until I hit a branch or a log. I was reversing for Marips because I thought he was coming to a pan. So I decided to do a quick reverse, and while we were live, of course, with the private show, and then I hit a log, a stump actually, and almost bounced Gert right off the vehicle. But on top of that, I bounced a whole lot of wires out of our equipment, and we just went, it shut down. Ding dong, ding dong dong. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just shut down. Dong, dong, dong. But yeah. Ooh, what else was something there now? It's another log. Alright, we're not going to stay here for too much longer, I think. As you can see, Marips is very much a sleepy cat. I think we might just start moving a little bit out of this drainage line. Alright, well, we're going to try and make our way out here. Let's head over to Chris in Pridelands, as he's got some magnificent animals he wants to show you.
Well, this is another herd of elephants. We've left the previous herd. And we basically My apologies. I've just found another herd. So you can see the terrain is also severely different. And there's babies. And that was what I was looking for. Cuteness. One thing about this cold weather is that you don't really see them flapping their ears much, like this little one. Yesterday we spoke about the differences between calves and adults with regards to the retention and loss of heat. So that youngster would want to keep its ears with those arteries quite close to its body, because they lose heat much more quicker than the adults. The adults actually retain excessive heat and need to get rid of it. So you'll find the youngsters much less flapping of the ears. In fact, even keeping the ears pressed to... I'm just going to duck here quickly. You got me there.
Yeah. It's just been empty.
Against the body in order to retain and keep all that heat. So general rule of thumb is the bigger the animal, the smaller its surface area is compared to its weight. Rashan, yes, indeed, all the Ellies today. And there are so many of them around at the moment, which is pretty much a permanent thing with pridelands. There are so many elephants. Near constantly. Oh, little guy. You can hear how they're talking to each other there. That sort of low-pitched rumble. Everybody loves baby elephants, even Kabuki. Let's just send us a comment there about the baby elephants. You hear them talking there. They have a language, they speak to each other. A very big herd as well, and they're quite widespread. And even on the other side, on the hill to our left, which we can't really see now because it's an awkward spot for BK to maneuver. What do we got there, BK? That's more Ellies. Duck, yeah. Got my head there. So there's the ones in the distance, and it's all still part of the same herd. You can see how far and widespread this herd is at the moment. Sometimes viewing them at a distance also gives a little different perspective. I kind of like that.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
Hooray, we got an impala on screen. This is unbelievable. And I mean, obviously the best view of an impala ever. Ah, thank you, Catherine. You say that Madikwa is always a treat for your eyes. Animals are not. That makes me feel better. Thank you, Catherine. And we also hope that you had a great birthday. Oh, impala. Sometimes it's occasionally you get these days where as a guide you make decisions that exclude other animals, for example, sitting and waiting and hoping that something happens. That combined with the animals just also not wanting to have anything to do with you. I feel like today is one of those days. Well, this morning is one of those mornings. This afternoon, I reckon it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. We're gonna have animals coming out of our ears. Yep, it's gonna be insane. I hope you're ready.
We've come to Treehouse Dam area, and this is a herd of Nyala we actually saw yesterday with a tiny little youngster. I don't know if you can go. Ah, there you go. You should have a view. Now we're looping the roads around Treehouse. She was apparently on a road called Savage's Track, but my Savage's Track is different from everyone else's. For some reason, when they produced a new map, they switched all the names around. I don't know why. So what the new people will call savages is not what the older people will call savages. But anyway, we've looked around them all just in case. Tried to stop and listen. But no alarm calls. There's a big herd of impala. Owen and I wondered whether maybe she's sort of hiding and watching the impala on the other side of the dam. Or she could be watching these inyala, actually, depending on which savage's track you're on. I don't know why they switched up the road names. It get very confusing. But in all honesty, if you do know a predator is in the area, watching the animals that they would tend to hunt is a good idea. Because it's highly likely that the inyalas will spot Klalamba before I would. You're so cute. You stay safe now. Stay with all the mummies and the aunties and the sisters, the tunnies. I do just want to do one more swing past Treehouse Dam on. Apparently she was heading in that direction. So I'm on what I know as savages, but I think the people that are just started traversing Juma went through a sort of turnover of who can traverse the savages is on the other side. Wah wah. Okay, we're gonna do one last sweep across Treehouse Dam and we're gonna send you guys over to Cedric.
Thank you, Lauren. All right, so we have left Marip still fast asleep there in the drainage line. I'm sure Lauren will want to go and try and follow up there this afternoon. And I'm just going to end right here at oh, there's some baboons. There's some baboons at Gurry Dam. Woo! Let's go take a look at them. Oh, some big boys. Let's go see. Let's see these baboons. Hardly ever see these baboons at Juma anymore. They used to hang around here so often, but they've moved away. And the whole troop is walking alongside the dam. Of course, the blacksmith lapwings are not happy, but you can understand. Baboons will eat the eggs, so if they've got little chicks, if they can grab those little lapwing chicks, they'll grab it and then they'll eat them. But for now, seems like they're not too bothered. Oh, look at this, a whole troop. It's nice just to see them once again. But it looked like the one that was moving in front was a big male. Of course, very much run by an alpha male. A dominant boy. Oh, looks like they're now all sitting down, contemplating about life.
Maybe they're going to fish.
Yeah, I think where they're going to fish him. Yeah, not a bad spot here. Chakma baboons. I love, especially when they're youngsters, when they start playing around, it can become quite entertaining. You see them jumping into trees, chasing each other around. But now I think they are just sitting here they were moving now, they just all of a sudden decided to take a little bit of a break next to the dam. We'll go a bit forward, yeah. They had to go and stop at the worst of spots there. Della, yes, they do indeed use their tails. That's a counterbalancing, like monkeys and baboons and leopards even lions. But yeah, baboons definitely use those tails for counterbalancing. Very important to them. Look, I've seen baboons without tails, but I'm not saying then they can't climb trees and they'll be terrible at it. No, it's just that I think the agility is just minimized a little bit compared to a baboon that's got a tail.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
Oh, they got a fright. Oh, you got a bit of a fright now. You see these blacksmith lapwings are dive bombing these baboons. Well, they're not too happy about something. But they're not happy about something. Something gave them a little bit of a fright, a bit of a scare. Apparently there was alarm calls a little bit earlier. Well done, lapwing. You did your job for the day. They're all very nervous. Maybe due to the leopards being around, maybe the lion being around here as well last night.
So we've just made our way into the dune forest area on the western side of the Amakhala Game Reserve and doing a little bit of birding, enjoying the warmth as the mercury has continued to rise And it sounds like we're in the midst of a bit of a birding party here. It's a bit spread out, but there's lots and lots of birds calling. Not just this fork-tailed drongo, aka the R2D2 bird. And there, he's flown off, probably gone in search of an insect. Yeah, there's another one. There's a glossy starling just arrived in that tree, but further on down there is an African hoopoo. You're quite correct, Morgan. And we've got red-faced mouse birds calling, drongos, African hoopoos. The loudest of the lot is the southern boo-boo, that one. Of course, the drongos are also very accomplished mimickers, but their own typical call is that R2D2. And lots of movement of the mouse birds and starlings as well. There's both red-faced and the speckled mouse birds that we get here. And the southern boo-boo, the loudest call, but difficult to spot them inside the brush. Lovely call though. I think they're also all enjoying how much warmer it is than it's been in the last few days. So lots of activity. So as I say, we are also heading towards the end of the show. We're also heading towards the end of our stint here on Amakhala, just for 2 weeks. Morgan and I will be back on the 20th of August again, so a 2-week break or hiatus. But we'll still be on this afternoon on the Sunset Safari. So never fear, we will be back. A nice little break, and I hope that when we get back, it's we get that feeling of heading towards summer. Heading towards the end of August and September, then we generally say that it is the sort of unofficial start of spring. And the drongos saying goodbye as well. Lots of chatter from them. And don't forget, after this, it will be live at the Waterhole with all the new AfriCam cameras as well. And Kabuki, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's been a wonderful morning here on Amakhala, lovely and warm, and I'm glad that we got to catch up with those lions, especially the youngsters having their bacon breakfast. But nice to finish now with a lot of chitter-chatter from the birds. Also seeing us and you on our ways. So after this, live at the Waterhole, and then of course later on this afternoon there will be the Sunset Safari kicking off at 2:30. So yes, that is me once again in your faces, and yeah, we look forward to this afternoon. I wonder what we're going to do. I think we're going to probably come around in this area once more, because we came here because the breeding herd of elephants have actually come into these parts. So it's quite thick area, and the blocks are quite big, but the tracking is a lot easier, and I really like this side of the reserve. It's my favorite part. It's not as picturesque as the basin, but it's just the sandy substrate makes it much easier for tracking. So I'm sure we'll be able to catch up with those elephants, so stay tuned and we'll see you back this afternoon once more. Thanks for watching, and of course the wildlife as the stars of the show. See you later, folks. Bye for now.